Podcast. This is your boy DJ KO.
K Jack is here.
I'd like to welcome you guys back to the show. I had a lot of comments and concerns, not comments, concerns, comments and questions about last week. Last week was a pretty good show. We talked about branding and trademarking your business. I think that's something that's every business needs, and every business, in order to be successful, they need that. Last week's show was a good show. Also, for those who tune into the show, I thank you guys for being subscribers to the show. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Today we have a special show today. We have two special people that that's in the professional world that most of you guys know, that you don't know, but you know, kind of sort of. You know what their organizations or what they do, but you don't know them. So today, they're happy to grace us with their presence on the show. So today, our first guest on the show is Miss Tam Davis.
Oh, that's right. You don't have the soundboard.
Right. I don't have the.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
And our second guest is Lunda Wells.
Yay.
How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm living. I would say it's a beautiful day today, but it's not. And here in Houston, it's like 65 degrees and it's raining. So.
Oh wow, yeah. That's what we had earlier in the week. So yeah, I get it.
So guys, starting with you, Tam, could you tell the guys a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana. Graduated from Southern University and a bachelor in microbiology. Weird, I know, because my background, science, but I'm working in sports. I got my master's. I started my master's at LSU, and I started working actually at LSU as a student worker when I was at Southern. You know, you could, as long as you was in university, you could work. So I had a friend who worked here and knew people who played here. So I worked, and kind of that's how I started. And now I'm here. 15 years later, 16 maybe, something like that, a long time.
16? Oh, I thought you was like 20 years old. Okay.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. No.
Yeah.
She started early.
Yeah.
She was an intern.
Yeah, I started early. I was a student worker, intern, and then I moved around a little bit, worked for offense, worked for defense, and now I'm a director of player relations.
Dope. Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Lunda, tell people about yourself.
Okay, Lunda Wells from Baker, Louisiana, small town, about 10 miles north of Baton Rouge. Born and raised there, went to Baker High School, went to Southern University, graduated in criminal justice, got my undergrad and master's degree in criminal justice, concentration in investigation. Similar like Tam, you know, I graduated in criminal justice, but I'm working in sports, been involved in sports now as a coach. Did 2 years at Scotlandville High School, 4 years at LSU, and did 8 years at the Giants, and now here with the Dallas Cowboys going into year 2. So took a different path than what I went to school for. So some people say I wasted my degrees, but you know, it's kind of helped me prepare me for life, just in terms of how to learn new things. So that's
now the funny part about that is I was in grad school at LSU for exercise science to do what you guys are doing, and I ended up working as a psychotherapist. I ended up in mental health counseling. So that's funny that the tables turned.
Yeah.
But I started off in like exercise science, and here I am doing something completely different. So I get it. It happens.
Yeah, it happened. Definitely happened.
That's funny. So that's going to be my first question, because I didn't know you guys didn't have a sports background that you graduated in, and both of you guys have a master's degree in something that you're doing now. So what was the mindset going into that, for as like Tam, you just said you was a student worker. Did you know, being a student worker at LSU, right, leading into what you do now versus having a degree in microbiology?
No, I did not. I did it because it was fun. Had a great boss, and actually they saw something in me. I was like, I don't know anything about sports, but I love the recruiting side at first. That's what I started on. So, you know, it was just kind of like, oh, we're having fun, you know, And it was like, oh, we had a lady who retired. We're like, you do good at that job. Go work for offense. And I'm like, do what? I don't know anything about sports. Like I don't. Games were, for social reasons only. Like I went to have fun, talk to people, so that's what it
Right.
was. Yeah, so it was nothing about football.
So all right. So you was a student, right? And a random person just said, "Hey, I like you." You know what?
I was a student worker, and so I did a great job. I would say probably. We worked official.
The job chose her basically.
Yeah,
what she
the
doesn't
job
realize. It chose her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's
So
dope.
where are you right now, Tam? Currently?
I'm at LSU.
Oh, you're at LSU. Okay.
Yeah, I'm at LSU football and director of player relations now. So.
Okay.
Director. That's a big
put some respect on that title.
Right. So now she's telling people you go do this and you look like a good person to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's dope. That's dope. What about you, Lunda? You said you have a master's in investigation. So I take you want to work for the FBI when you got out of college.
Yeah, I want to work for the federal DEA. And like Tam said, man, it's a very interesting point. You go to school, all right, to do something, right? And you end up not doing that. And, as I look back on it, that was kind of my gateway, right? Meaning, I was involved in football all my life since the age of 7. So it's kind of been in my makeup. But, what I learned in criminal justice, right? A lot of the things, investigative, meaning, hey, observing, those same skill sets that I've learned, similar like Tam, biology, I'm pretty sure she had to be very intentional with her work, be very organized, all right, be very, she couldn't be a procrastinator being a biology major.
No.
Those skill sets that you learn as in your undergrad and as your master's degree, those carry over into what you're doing now and help you do your job effectively and do your job better than the next person might be doing their job. So those skill sets that you learn, they don't go unnoticed, all right? They're not just, something that you did. Some of those little characteristics, some of those little fine details you carry over into the profession that you're doing now, which ultimately allows you to do your job very well and very effective, So I some of the stuff that I do now, I pay homage to what I learned in college, in my undergrad and my master's degree process that helps me do my job well.
And your exact title is what now?
I'm the tight ends coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, dope. So saying that leading to that, I know both of you guys have a HBCU background, right? You both graduated in HBCU, but you participated professionally or you work professionally in a PWI. Could you talk about the transition about that? Like most people that work in the HBCU, if they do work in a profession for us with sports, they tend to stay within their reign of HBCU and they move up the ranks. But you guys jump right into it. So you could just tell us about that transition.
I guess I kind of didn't have a transition because, I went to school, so I loved my HBCU. You start literally I was in the honors college, so I started with certain people, and once you get in your major, you kind of stay with those group of people. So, great university, loved it, always had support, but my first job was at LSU as a student worker, So I guess I kind of didn't transition. I loved my HBCU, but I worked here kind of and moved up. So
okay.
I kind of can't compare, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, I just went to school in one and worked at the other.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But shout out to Southern for sure.
Do people expect you to have a choice? Are
Yeah.
you tasked with your friends and classmates and things with having to decide or put, like you say, there's no comparison because you have both. You have a different relationship
It's
with
so
both.
different, yeah.
Right. But do people try to Southern, challenge that at times?
Yes.
Okay.
At Southern, we were so close, nobody was gonna fail. And you have professors that always gonna look out. Now, I took a lot of classes at LSU because you can do dual enrollment. It was not the same. Sometimes I was the only Black in the classroom. So that was a little different. You know what I'm saying? That was eye opener for me.
Right.
Very different.
Right.
Not everybody willing to work with you either.
No. Right.
So
that's exactly what it is.
So, Luna, what's your transition? Because I kind of know your story. You know, I read your story, and I really couldn't believe your story, even though I know you. But outside of me knowing you, I read your story, and I didn't realize you went through those steps to get to where you are. Could you kind of explain that?
Yeah, I mean, going to HBCU was again a great experience, right? And the best thing I take from that experience is, and I say HBCU lower level, you build great qualities in terms of a lot of people around HBCU, they love that university wholeheartedly, love it, right? And then the next thing is a lot of times, more often than not, you're gonna have everything that you need. You're gonna have everything that you need in terms of places to go, in terms of education, a good classroom, right, bookstore, whatnot. But at times you don't have things that you necessarily want. And so with that being the case, that helps build some character about yourself. You might not necessarily have the finest bells and whistles, but you got what you need, right? You got it, you got TT Lane. Okay, it might not be the Taj Mahal.
Shout out Lane, man. Shout out
yeah,
to
you know what I'm saying? Might not be the Taj Mahal, but hey, it's a place where you can go and learn that. So you learn certain characters about yourself in terms of you got to find a way to get it done, right? You might not have the things that you necessarily want, but you got what you need, and you have to manipulate things, and you got to massage things to get it done, to get whatever job done that you need to get done. So that was one of the greatest things I learned, coming from Southern as a student athlete, utilizing what you do have and making the most out of it. And then when I transitioned and go to Scotlandville, which is Kent, high school, inner city high school, where hey, you might not necessarily have everything that you want, but you do have the things that you need. You got a small weight room, right?
So where is that? Where is Scotlandville? Where is that located?
It's in Baton Rouge. It's in Baton Rouge, in Scotlandville, city of Scotlandville. But you might not necessarily have, the great, big, lavish, weight room like Zachary have or like a Central have, but you got to be able to manipulate things and massage things to get the job done at a high level. And then now when I go to LSU, you got everything you want and need,
Right.
But it's still within that, the demand is higher. So you got to get creative to make sure that you're utilizing and taking advantage of all the opportunities you have. So hats off to Southern University and all of those things that they taught us when we was there, in terms of finding a way to get the job done at a high level, but not necessarily having everything that you want, but you got everything that you need.
Right.
So I have a question. I guess it's a twofold question. Back to what Lunda said earlier about experiences and your training and education and things like that. And then even what you just spoke on, saying having what you want, what you need, understanding what's before you, using what you have and how you use it to progress on both levels, the collegiate level as well as the professional level. How do you guys use that to relate? You're in player relations, you have the tight ends that you're over. So even with that, because you got a lot of young players coming from collegiate that think they're adults, but we know mind-wise they're still kind of young coming into this professional world of the NFL. So how do the two you handle dealing with those trying to get to where Lunda is, and then Lunda, you get them coming from Tam. So how do you use those life experiences and just all of that to get them to where they need to be?
I like Tam to start that out. She breaks the ground with them.
Yeah, so it's, it starts in high school. So we getting them from high school. So everybody's great in high school. When you get to college, everybody's great also. But the competition, the stage is higher now,
Right.
You have a lot of responsibility. You're away from home, away from your parents. And honestly, it's real conversations we got to have. Some conversations that maybe you may not want to have, but I ask the questions that nobody want to ask. Like, what's going on? I heard this, there's a lot of things that I hear. And so I'm like, guys, what's going on with this? What do you need help with? Because it starts, we got to prepare them for the next level, because nobody's going to do stuff for you when you get to the NFL. They're not. So I feel like we prepare them here. You got to be on time. You got to go to class. You got to go to study hall. You got to be to practice on time. Meetings, you sit down 5 minutes before the meeting starts in your assigned seat. Like those type of things, we instill very early. Your schedule's there for you. There's nothing that they don't have. They have everything that they need, and everything that they want also. So we expect a lot from them, and that's kind of how we started. And You know, they have a lot of people that's entitled, but you know, that first practice, you know, things kind of settle down because you know, everybody's good in college. You know, they got 85 scholarships. Let's think about it. So not everybody gonna make it to professional level either. So we prepare for those things, life after football. If you're not playing, what are you gonna do? You know, because that's a hard transition. But I always tell them the first week of college is your hardest. If we can get you through that, y'all gonna be good.
Now, what exactly does player relations mean? What does that what is your
their
job?
day-to-day life, whatever's going on, appointments, mental health appointment. I mean, I'm on everything, missing class. Why are you not in class? You know, they have a doctor's appointment, this is what's going on, trying to facilitate that, just getting stuff done, making sure that all our I's are dotted and all our T's are crossed. You know, because they have a full schedule. When they get here, it starts with academic center at 7:30 in the morning, class, tutoring, football meetings, practice, going back to the study hall after you're done. You know, so we're just making sure everybody's there every step of the way to make sure that they're successful for sure.
Okay.
So the parent away from home. They don't get a parent when they get to you, Lunda. So then what happens when they get to you?
This is a great conversation. Now you know, can I go a little bit deeper? And this is excellent. You know, like Tam talked about with the role that she's in, you know, I like to, you know, correlate Tam to she's the umbilical cord, right? She's that umbilical cord. She's feeding them everything, got everything lined up for them. You know, the schedule, the this, the that, boom, 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 right? But when the guys come to the National Football League, that umbilical cord is cut.
Right.
So a lot of those things that Tam is doing for them is showing them how to set up things, how to be regimented. That umbilical cord is cut, and now they have to find a way. Right? They got to find a way to reach deep down in their soul and lean back on a lot of those things that Tam, all right, those people that are in Tam type roles have taught them through college. Because when you get to the National Football League, it's about ball, it's about football, and it's on the highest level. You're paid not just to compete, but you're paid to win. And everything that goes into that process, okay, is about football. And as a position coach, you know, you make sure you get a chance to understand the kid, get to know the kid. You guys have heard it. Hey, the person doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? That still holds true, but we can't be that umbilical cord for them. They have to lean on those resources that they've learned from Tam through those 4 years or 3 years process being in college. And you know, it's a great thing that Tam does, because it lays that foundation for them when they get to the National Football League, so that they can be organized, detailed, and put their best foot forward outside the field. So when they get on the field, it's crystal clear focus on what they got to do on the field. Because on the field, you know, like Arnold says, it's serious. It's serious. You know what? I don't want to curse on here, but it's serious. You know what? Right? Yeah. It's serious. It's just like it is in college.
Because you playing with people money.
It's serious, and just like in college, it's the same way. It's very serious, and it just goes up another notch, because this is the end all. You know, it's nothing after the NFL. This is it. You know.
So I remember, I got a quick story. I remember when I was coming out of Southern, I went to Southern University. Coming out of Southern, I got an opportunity to go to a training camp with Green Bay and with Dallas. And when I say that was a culture shock for me, like for the speed of everything, not just with the speed on the field, I'm talking about the speed with everything. So it was all set up for you and everything. But me, you know, coming from, I didn't have that structure coming out of an HBCU, but as time went on, you know, I learned it. But to my next question, I heard you say something, both of you guys say something about student athletes. Now, you know, student athletes are the most important thing that employ both of you guys, right? You got to have a student athlete. In the news, when I ain't saying the news, you see that a lot of, well, I ain't say a lot, the trend now, a lot of guys are leaving, not really leaving, but they're deciding to go to a smaller college versus a bigger college. What do you guys see the benefit, or don't see a benefit in that, or what far as with that? Because I know you guys coming from big programs.
Lunda, you take that one first.
What I mean by that, I mean saying far as getting to your level where you are, coach. So,
I'll answer that question like this. Are there more opportunities or certain opportunities that you get from going to a major university? Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yes. You got a little bit more of wants. Right. I go back to that. You got what you need. Okay. You got what you want. You got a little bit more wants at a major university. You got a little bit more financial stability, a little bit more funded. Right. So you have a nicer things. You travel a little bit different. We was getting on G Brown bus. Hey, LSU, we was hopping on the Hotard bus. I mean. Yeah, but we had a ride though.
We got
driving to the games, right? LSU flying to the game. You feel me? So there is a little bit different aspect in terms. You got a little bit more wants, but to the guys that decide to go to smaller university or HBCU versus going to a major college, here's my take on it. The college experience of a student athlete is so important. It's so important, right? And just the experience of being able to be a student athlete. I go to school, do my schoolwork, then I'm able to go and fellowship and learn life skills on a football field, on a basketball court, okay, or on a baseball diamond. That experience is so important. All right. So whether or not you do it at LSU or do it at Southern, that experience nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take the experience and the life lessons that you learn, whether or not it's at a major university or a small university. Nobody can take that away from you. So to those guys who decide to go to a smaller school, that's a great opportunity in my mind, because it's going to build so much more that's going to live longer than your playing career, right? Yeah. The biggest thing is the experience of playing college. Being a student athlete in college.
So Tam, go ahead, Kai.
I was just gonna say, and in that, and I know how you said trend, because we talk about the trends, we see the trends, and you have a lot more, like you say, players want to go to your smaller schools. I think world society that sets these trends is pushing them more in that direction with this past year that we just had for various reasons, from COVID, psychosocial things, race, whatever it is. It's pushing a lot of players who look like us and that would usually go to HBCUs to make them want to matriculate and learn with like-minded people, with people who can recognize and understand them. Now, is it a bad thing? And some people say, oh, you're gonna miss an opportunity. But I think it gives them a greater opportunity of getting to what Lunda and Tam said, that experience, knowing what you need, how you need. Someone's gonna take out the time more so in a smaller setting, be it an HBCU or not, but a smaller setting, to help you have the eyes to see what you need and realize what you need so that you can take it with you to the next level. Because you and I both, I mean, we all know, we all went to Southern, and I've been around enough players in the league to know and to see people who've been there, and even after they grow up in the league, to come out, they are lost. They don't know anything beyond just that football, who they are. They didn't have much foundation before they went in, but a lot of times they can go back to that smaller knit situation of what they had in college, or people who had an impact on them in college. So I think honestly going into the smaller sectors for some is a great opportunity. It's a better opportunity than what they think going to a larger scale. Honestly, I do.
So Tam, going back to you. Now, going back, you said you got to wake these kids up at 6:30.
And I'm not waking them up though. They just have a schedule. Like I'm just making sure they on time.
You're making sure they stay on schedule though.
And I make sure I ain't waking them up because that's something they have to do on their own. But we're just making sure they're not missing a thing. We have a lot of, their day is structured. Like to be a student athlete, I don't even know if I could do it. I'm not gonna lie. They starts really early and it's time consuming.
Freshmen. That was my question, because you have 85 kids there.
Scholarship and
right, 85 kids and 15.
120 total,
120.
So you just deal with the ones on scholarship, not necessarily the ones. Everybody. Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
Gray shirts, all of them.
Yeah, everybody. And the ones who have more issues than others, I'm on a little bit more. Some people need a little bit more 10 to 11 care.
Do you get progress reports? How do you know when they don't show? Okay.
So my question is could that be stressful?
I guess because it's so second nature to me. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not because you have a lot of them after their first couple of weeks, they get into the groove of it, so they understand what we need, what we expect.
Okay.
And so some of them it takes a little bit longer. Because a lot of times high school, like you're not structured in high school. You get to sometimes you have programs to do what you want.
Right.
Here you can't do what you want. That's not how it's gonna rock. You gotta do what people need you to do.
So my question for both of you guys, and this is I guess it's a transition question for both of you guys. Okay. So you have a player coming from, say, LSU, and this kid is a Heisman Trophy winner. I'm not naming no names, but it's a Heisman Trophy winner. So in social status, they're beyond life. So one, how do you manage that? Because they're still a student athlete at the end of the day. And two, for you, Lunda, the next question, how do you manage that personality once they get to the league?
Can I add something to your question? Because I had a question about this real quick.
Okay.
So even with that, we talk about too, just these times with like your millennials and like these kids who have their parents and things doing so much for them. So you have those factors who the parents put them on these pedestals and things like that. So just with all those factors built in, I was gonna ask that, how do you guys handle it? How do you keep them grounded if you can?
I keep it real, y'all. They not coming to me with no type of, they don't act that way with me. Now, maybe with people outside here, because I just keep it 100. Like, this is how it's going to go. This is what I expect. And they respect me because they know I'm here for their best interest. So I don't even get any of that. Like in this building, it's none of that. No.
So it's respect, basically.
It's always respect. And they know how I'm coming. It's always respect. So, and that's the good thing. I've never had those issues. Even the best, like never had those issues. But most of them, we have some very good guys, very respectful guys. They all raise well. There's adjustment. And so sometimes you're going to miss a few things because you forgot this or you overslept. And that's normal. We go through that and we're just trying to work through it, making sure, you got to be here on time. You're going to have, you do have consequences for your actions when you do things wrong. So, and they know that they know that from day one. But they know we're here to help them along the way to wherever they got to get to is what we're just trying to help, facilitate, making sure they're good, making sure they understand the importance of what they want to do in life and who they are. That's that's the big thing. Because I want you to know who you are. You got to know who you are while you're here. Because
absolutely,
you get to the league, that stuff is different. Even just to go on a job force, you got to know who you are.
Right.
Absolutely.
And now when they coming to you, first round.
Tam could have said it best. Getting guys to understand who they are. Because so much in society try to tell you who you are. They try to give you a certain name and crown you this and that. And in the National Football League, especially when I was in New York, the media builds you up.
Right.
They ain't building you up to keep you there. Right? They building you up so it can be a bigger storyline when you fall down. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great point what Tam talked about in terms of guys understanding who they are. And getting into the league, I learned this a long time ago when I first got in the league. Typically, guys are good no matter if it's a Heisman Trophy winner or a 13-year All-Pro player.
Okay.
They appreciate and respect the fact that, hey, if you can help make them better, right? If you can help make them better, they are with that. Now you can't come up in there shucking and jiving. Like what Tam said, hey, she keep it real. They read through that. You know what I'm saying? You come in and you shucking and jiving them and you BSing them and you're not really giving them the good things that's gonna help them get better, you're gonna have a problem.
Okay.
But if you keep it real with them, it's just like anybody else. You're dealing with a person. You're dealing with a person. Yeah. I tell people all the time, they go, oh yeah, you know Odell, or Dak Prescott, or Saquon Barkley, and Blake Jordan. Yeah, I know them, but at the end of the day, the media paints the picture that there's some immortal, from Black Panther, dealing with vibranium type person. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they're people.
They're people.
And it's a
that's what I say.
This is a people's business. Yeah. This is a people's business, and you got to learn how to deal with people and get them to understand that, hey, man, this game of football, especially on the national football level, has the opportunity to change your life forever.
Absolutely.
And not just your life, but the people that you love, your mom, your dad, your wife, the people that you're gonna eventually love, maybe a kid that you hadn't had yet, this can change your life. And as long as you keep the main thing, you
it.
got to take care of the football. You got to take care of the football and get in the National Football League. You got to take care of that. And you got to have a clear mind in terms of some of the stuff that you learned from Tam in college, in terms of taking care of the home life, make sure everything in line, but understand that, hey, you cannot let that impact you on the football field, because I mean, if it don't impact you on the football field and it fuels your drive and your passion to be the very best that you can possibly be, it's going to change your life forever and everybody around you's life forever.
So let me ask you guys this. I know you guys got to go and everything. I want to ask you guys this. Through you guys' experiences by dealing with, this sport called football, how has this developed you as an individual?
Ooh,
Good, Tam.
let me tell you. I started so young, so I feel like I grew up in the game. You know what I'm saying? I've learned so much just from different situations, because I don't know what I'm gonna get every day. You know, I don't know what situation we're going every day. So you learn patience, you do. I learned that as long as I am who I am, I know who I am, and I treat people right, everything's gonna be fine. We can figure everything, we can figure everything. I just grew up here, so I learned from Sharon. So it's just, I learned the game and I kind of grew up in it. So you learn how to treat people, always be nice, respectful, and it comes back tenfold. I met some great friends here, a lot of guys playing the league I'm still close to. I root for them every Sunday, but I grew up in it. So it's been great to me. And I hope I'm doing, a great job. I think I am,
Now you're doing a great job. You gotta be out home.
You're doing a great job.
I feel like I'm still learning something new every day, different pressures sometimes, but I don't let anything bother me, but I just kind of grew up in it. And it's taught me that if I can do this, I can do anything. I'm not gonna lie. And just dealing with people and what they go through is a lot, and it puts a lot on you. But I'm just here to help them and figure it out. And so it's been good to me. I got to say that.
I believe it. I've always thought for you to do what you do at the level of the collegiate level, in my mind, the people behind the scenes of that is a lot harder. No offense to you, Lunda, but to me, that's a whole lot harder than what it is when they get to the level they're trying to achieve, because you have to help them grow up so much. I heard you say they're scheduled with mental health, with doctor's appointments, dental appointments. Like, that's a lot.
What you need. So we got to make sure they're good. You know what I'm saying? Because when they get to league, they say it's easy. Here, it might be a little bit harder because you got to be a student athlete. Got to have a certain GPA. You got to be eligible.
Right.
It's a lot of things. So it's a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of people. We have a lot of people here. So good thing I have a lot of people to help. But there's a lot of moving parts, and we're just trying to make sure that nobody's left behind. Making sure, that everybody gets to where they have to go and do what they have to do, and hopefully change lives.
What about you, Lunda?
What about you, Lunda?
I mean, like you said, I mean, Tam's, those guys' role is so important. Those guys' role helped my role be just, hey, worry about football. Just get the football right. Hey, when we was in college, if they had something going on off the field, right, you're still hands-on, but you don't have to be as hands-on to say, all right, hey, call Tam. Tam's gonna do this, that, and the third, right? And see, we got the same type of department here with our player development, where, hey, guys get into something off of the field, then they have that resource. Getting in the National Football League and even in sports in general, like in college, you guys have to learn how to utilize their resources, all right? And resources, are so important. So that what you said, hey, Tam's role is 100% very, very important, because it allows us to just focus on football. Focus on football. Again, that's what I get paid to do. I get paid to coach football. I don't get paid to hold a guy's hand and make sure that, hey, they got up in the morning, or make sure they're going to bed at night. It's about football, and
our job is just teaching, making sure they know that, and making sure when they get to the next level that y'all don't have anything to worry about.
Exactly, and that's why we work hand in hand together. And going back to Adam's question, hey, what did football do for me? Similar to Tam, like I told you guys earlier, I've been involved in football since the age of 7, and I made the transition from a player to a coach. And with that transition, I realized that, hey, I love the game of football. All right, if you've been doing something since the age of 7, and now I'm 38, you got to have some type of love about it. So I love the game of football, and I realized, hey, I can coach it longer than I can play it. So that answers the question, like Tam talked about, hey, guys are lost when they're done playing football. They don't know what to do. Hey, you know what? Hey, I got lucky. I fell right into something that I could still stay around my love, you know, in terms of coaching it. So it's been a love of mine for a long time. And then the last point I give on that, in terms of what has football done for me, it also has allowed me to consistently reevaluate myself, consistently learn different ways, different people skills. Because like you guys talked about, you deal with millennials. You know, I'm a borderline millennial, right? But before you know it, they're gonna come up with another name,
Millennials,
whatever.
Gen X,
Gen
Z. I thought we were on Gen Z. Yeah.
So with me being around sports, it's gonna allow me to adapt, okay, and continue to get better and learn, like Tam said, because we all know, hey, once you stop learning, they might as well throw some dirt on you, put you 6 feet deep,
right?
You're dying. So it kind of still allow you to continue to learn people's skills and learn how to deal with people and keeps you young. You know, it's like having kids.
It does. Right.
So,
but that's a powerful statement, even in you all's positions, to say you are still learning, you still growing, you still like that. That in it, all of that carries so much weight, and people need to hear that in their respective professions. Period. You have to always be willing to grow and learn something else. So
I take my hats off to you, Lunda, because my little stint when I did my little college coaching, man, that wore me out, man. Ooh, that wore me 18 hours a day, bro. And look, me and Lunda be on the phone like, what's up, man? Where you at? I'm in the meeting. It's 2:00 in the morning. I said, man, I can't do this no more.
This is how I know what it did to you, Nelson. That's when you used to see your scriptures out in the morning.
Hey, Nelson, I might be in the office 18 hours, but you best believe Tam phone is on 24/7. So she might not be up at 18 hours, but she might get a phone call at 3:00. She rolling over, cold in her eyes. Her hair rag on that. And that hair ain't laying like it is right there.
I see. She must got her hair done today. I see you. I check you out.
No, the hair always laid.
And she got ready to tell him something. You know?
Tell him again.
Hair always laid though.
I mean, everybody plays a piece to the puzzle, man, and it's important.
Yeah, and you always let them, just as long as they know you're there for them. My phone is always here, so I'm always like
always on. She got 2 phones.
Yeah, I do.
Like you, like Kevin Gates, huh? You got 2 phones.
You got 2 phones over there.
So, because I know you guys got to go. This is my last question for both of you guys before we wrap it up. What's the future for you guys? What does the future look like? What's in the future for you guys? What you guys want to accomplish?
Go ahead, Tam.
I don't know yet. I'm still thinking. I don't know. Still learning. I like what I'm in right now. It's probably, what I saw myself doing. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I love it. I can tell you that. So we're gonna figure it out.
Growth in that. That's a good answer.
Let me grow in here first and see wherever it leads me, it leads me.
Oh, you said at the beginning of the podcast, AD. You just said it. Hey.
Never know.
Hey. Manifestation. We manifest
right
over here.
Right. So learning this one though, I love this role I'm in,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What about you?
Jelly, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I tell you what, Adam, you better watch asking me some questions like that, man. I might set this thing on fire right now. But I believe this now, and I believe this wholeheartedly, man. And when I say this from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm a man built on faith, family, and football in that exact order. And it starts with my faith. So what's next for me? I'm walking by faith, and I firmly believe what's for me is for me and it ain't for nobody else, right? And I always prepare myself and I always pray this daily prayer, hey, God, put me in the right place at the right time, at the right moment to receive whatever blessings that he has for me. So when you ask that question in terms of what's next for me, I'm walking by faith and I'm trusting that God is going to direct me. He's going to open up that door. He's going to close some doors on me too in the process.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you get discouraged or whatever, right? But hey, you know what? That wasn't the door for me. He's going to open up that right door for me to walk right on in. And it's going to be a smooth transition. So what's next for me? Hey, whatever God has for me, because I only want what he has for me. all right, and my family, and I don't mean to preach on you. I don't mean to go.
Wait, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I can see right now Adam is getting closer and closer and closer to just having full-fledged Bible study. Every week we get close to having devotion on the show. I know Nelson gonna have a full-fledged service before it's over. We getting closer.
The organ playing the drum and the drummer.
Hey,
I got a tambourine.
So guys, look, I appreciate you guys coming on. Could you tell the people exactly that if you want people to reach you,
if you want them to find you
or anything, could you give them your handle so they can find you?
Oh yeah, so I don't really know my IG handle. Isn't that terrible? My IG handle is TAM. It's TTAAAMMM. And on Twitter, I'm just Tamara Davis. You'll see my picture and my LSU background. But anybody can hit me up. I'm always answering questions on social media for sure. My email address is tdavi18@lsu.edu. It's been that way since I was a student here, so hit me up. Lunda, I'm proud of you. Love you.
Nah, man. Hey, Tam, man.
I'm proud of both of y'all, man. This is amazing.
Tam looked out for me, man. Early on in my career, man. Tam is my. Yeah. She's like family, man.
I'll be in Dallas. So I will definitely be visiting.
Hey, hit me up.
Well, Tam, I'm gonna be calling you when I hit BR. I'll probably be there soon. So I'll let you know when I'm in town.
Yeah, let me know. I'm here.
Lunda, what's your handle?
I mean, I got a unique name, so I'm not very hard to find. You type in Lunda Wells and stuff will pop up. So that's kind of what I tell you.
He say stuff will pop up. No,
it's like Lunda _Wells.
It's Lunda. L-U-N-D-A. You type in that. I mean, don't nobody else have Lunda in the United States. No. So you got to go over. You got to go over to Africa and to the tribal Mandingo warriors and stuff.
You're one person that people would know in Halle because nobody has. Nobody has her name either.
Like, you type in my name, you should pay the price.
Guys, look, man, I appreciate you guys for coming on, man. Blessing us with the gems that you gave us. It's going to help a lot of people in the process. And I know you guys are busy. I know you guys got to run. For our viewers and for our people that view the show, I thank you guys for tuning in. We got a lot of shows just like this that's coming up. Make sure you continue to stay tuned with us. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Again, we'd like to appreciate our guests for coming on. This is
thank you.
And to you too, to you, Nelson. Hey, kudos to you. And Mrs. Jackson, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. I watch you guys from a distance. Never.
But all of this is B7 University and A&M College. I need people to recognize that.
That's it. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. This stuff is very, very good stuff that you guys are doing. And I know I don't mean to speak for Tam, but I know we both appreciate the opportunity coming on here. With you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
I thank both of you guys. Everybody, this is the Coast Leads This Thing podcast. This is your boy DJ KO.
K Jack is in the building.
Much love, peace. You guys have a blessed one.